Welcome to Mr. Heaton's Math Lab, and in this video we're going to learn about rounding to the nearest tenth. So before we actually talk about how to round, we need to talk about what the tenth place means. So say we have a number, say we have the number 246. Well, each one of these digits has a specific place, meaning that this one on the right, we call this the ones place. This value in the middle, the 4, we call that the tens place in a number. And this value here on the left, we call the hundreds. So if we have another example, say for instance, we have the number, say 692. Well, again, this value on the very right, that's the ones place. The middle number is the tens place. And here on the very left, we call that the hundreds. So when we're discussing rounding a value to the nearest tens, we're talking about changing this value in the middle. We want to change the tens value. And how we do that is we look at this value on the very right. We look at the 1 and we try to figure out how to change the value based off of what number is in this ones place. And so what we're trying to do is we're trying to change the value to say 90, say 80, say 40, say 10, or say 20, 30, any number between 10 and 90 where we have a 0 in the ones place and a number other than 0 in the tens. Okay, so let's try an example of this. Let's take a look at, say, this example. We will do the number 16. So you can see I have a number line present where we go from 10 all the way to 20. And what we do is we're trying to figure out, is this value 16, is it closer to 20 or is it closer to 10? So to do that, we create a number line. And we take the number line and we divide it right in the middle. So 15 is right in the middle. Remember, it's always going to be this number 5 in the ones place. Okay, and we need to know if we put 16 on this number line, are we seeing that it is closer to 20 or it's closer to 10? And you can see if we divide it in the middle that this number 16, it's closer to 20. So what we are going to do is we are going to round up this value to 20. Now another way to see it is to see if the ones number is 5 or greater, means we're going to round up. Well, this ones number here, which is a 6, that is greater than 5. So we would know that we would round up. Well, if the ones number, the ones place, is 4 or less, we would round down. So if we had a number like 14, right, 4 or less means we would round down, because guess what? That number is less than the midpoint, so we would round down. Okay, so let's take a look at another example here. So for this one, we're going to take a look at the number 6. Well, we have 6. We don't have a number in front of it, right? We don't have a 1, 2, 3, so this is just the ones place. Okay, well, we know that by our rules that if the ones number is 5 or greater, we round up. And if the ones number is 4 or less, we're going to round down. Okay, well, let's take our number line. We know that anytime the ones value is 5, that's going to be our midpoint. And we have the value 6 here. Well, it is on the right side of this, which means it's closer to 10. So we would know we would round up. And again, if the ones is 5 or greater, well, 5, okay, we have 6, right? Well, 6 is bigger than 5, so I know I'm going to round up. So the answer is 10 here. Let's move on to another example. Okay, so let's take a look at the number 22. Okay, well, we have a number line here. So our number line is going to be from 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. And we have our rules. Our rules say if the ones number is 5 or greater, we round up. If the ones number is 4 or less, we round down. Well, what's the ones number in this question? Well, it's going to be a 2. Well, if I know it's 2, 2 is less than 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, well, it's telling me I'm going to round down. Okay, well, what does it say on the number line? Well, on the number line, we always put this in the middle. Okay, well, if it's in the middle, we got 22 right here. It's on this side, so 22 is closer to 20 than it is 30. So I know I'm going to round this down to 20. Okay, let's try another example. Okay, what if we have 85? Okay, well, let's make our number line. We would go from 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, and 90. And I know we always put it in the middle, which is going to be where the ones value is a 5. Oh, well, that's interesting. It's right in the middle. We have 85. Okay, what do we do here? We know it's going to be right here. Well, I have the ones number is 5 or greater. Well, it is exactly 5. Okay, so that would mean I would round up, right? Because it is not 4 or less. So we wouldn't round down. So in the case where it lands right in the middle, we're always going to round up. So it's closer to 90. So we say this answer is 90. Okay, let's take a look at this one now. Okay, we have 49. So we can create a number line. We can go from 40 all the way to 50 here. We know we would put it right in the middle. Okay, we could also take a look at our rules. Okay, is it 5 or greater? Well, we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, the ones value, it's greater than 5. So if that's the case, I know I'm going to round up. So it's going to be 50. Okay, now let's try another practice problem here. Okay, what if we have 51 now? Okay, well, if we have 51 on our number line, we're going to have 50 to 60. We always put it right down the middle at 5. Okay, well, there's 51. Oh, okay, all right. Well, is it closer to 50 or is it closer to 60? Oh, it's pretty close. It's right next to 50. So we know it would be down. Okay, is that the same here? Is it 5 or greater? Well, the ones value is a 1. Well, 1 is a lot less than 5. Is it 4 or less? Yes, it is. So we are going to round down. So that stays at 50. Okay, let's try another example. What if we have 50? We just went from 51. Now we're at 50. Well, if this is 50, this is 60. We have a number line here, and it's already at 50. Well, guess what? We're not going to change anything. If we rounded it, it would stay the same because it's already at that value. So it's a little bit of a trick question. If you ever see any of those, just know it's always going to be the same thing. So say we have the value 60. Well, if we need to round it, it's going to stay the same. It's going to be 60. Same for 70, 80, 90. Anytime we have a 0 for the ones, it's going to stay the same. Okay, all right, let's try a couple examples here. We got 91, so we'll start with 91. Okay, we could do a number line. Okay, remember in the number line, it's always going to be at the middle. From 5 or greater, we'll round up. If it's less than 5, so 4 to 0, we'll round down. Okay, so the ones number. What's the ones number in this? Well, it's a 1. Well, if I know it's a 1 here, I'm going to always round down. So this is going to stay at a 9. And then we change the 1 value to 0. Because we went from 91 and we rounded down to the nearest tens place, which is 9. So we got 90. Now 44, well, the ones value is a 4 here. Well, if that's the case, it's less than 5, so I'll always round down. So we're going to set the ones value as 0, and then we set the tens as 4. Okay, well, now we have a 5 for this 55. The ones value is a 5. Well, we know that if the ones value is 5 or greater, I'm going to round up. Okay, well, I'm going to round up. So if I round up, what's the next value up from 55? Well, we have a 50, so it'd be 60. Okay, now let's try this one. This one, we have the 7 for the ones value, which is here. Okay, well, that's greater than 5, so I know I'm going to round up. So I put the 0 for the ones value. And for the tens value, I'm going to round upward. So what's the next tens value from 70? It would be 80. Okay, all right, let's try a couple more examples here. Now we don't have our number line here, but we do have a rule, right? If the ones number is 5 or greater, we round up. If the ones number is 4 or less, we round down. So for our first example, we have a 68, so 8 is in the ones place. Well, if the ones number is 5 or greater, we round up. So we're going to set the ones to 0. And the tens place, we had 60. We now change that to 70. We round up. Okay, next example, we have 42. 2 is our ones number. Well, 2 is less than 4, so I know we're going to round down. We set the ones value to 0, and we round down, which means this value will stay the same. So our tens place stays the same, so we have 40. Okay, next example, we have 85. 5 for the ones number, so if that's the case, that means we round up. So we're going to have a 0 for the ones place, and the 80 is going to change from 80, we round up to 90. Because 85 is closer to 90. Now next example, we have 18. We have an 8 for the ones value. So if the ones number is 5 or greater, we round up. Well, the one's going to change to a 0, and we go from 10 to 20. Next one, we have 11. So we have 1 for the ones value. Well, is it going to be 5 or greater? No. Is it less than 4? Yeah, it's just a 1. So we're going to change this to a 0 for the ones, and the tens place stays the same. So we have 10. Next one, 74. Well, we have a 4 for the ones. Is that 4 or less? Yes. So we're going to round down. So we keep the ones value as a 0. We round down means that we keep this the same, because 74 is closer to 70 than it is if we round it up, which would be 80. Okay, 75 now. So we got a 5 for the ones place. Is it 5 or greater? Yes, so we're going to round up. So the 0 for the ones place, and for the tens place we had 70 that we're going to round up, so we're going to change it to 80. Okay, let's try 23. So we got a 3 for the ones. Well, 3 is less than 4, so we're going to round down. So we change that to 0 for the ones. For the tens, since it rounds down, we keep that as 20. If you're looking to take your math skills to the next level, check out Mr. Heaton's Math Lab. We offer a range of resources to help you succeed, from free workbooks and Common Core assessments to focused mini courses and comprehensive curriculum courses. Head over to www.mrheatonsmathlab.com to get started today.